Joe talks about Joe. And now, your host, Joe Slepsky.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Joe on Joe. It is me, your host, Joe Slepsky, and we are in the week of Snake Eyes movie hysteria, everybody. I'm recording this in advance, so I don't have all my winner names to announce, but I want to congratulate all our winners from last week's contest. We were giving away tickets to the Hollywood premiere. So congratulations to everyone who won. As of this recording, I want to congratulate Jesse McCullough and Agent Chuckles. There are some out-of-towners who won some swag. They won the Batman Snake Eyes Fortnite comic book. And also I added in the G.I. Joe Retaliation soundtrack. This was after a trip to Amoeba Records out here. And basically I cleaned house of everything at Amoeba that said G.I. Joe and added it to the contest prize closet. So congratulations, Jesse. Congratulations to Agent Chuckles. I so appreciate you guys listening and sharing, and everyone sharing and retweeting it on social. We had a great turnout. So when you're hearing this on Wednesday, the Hollywood premiere is Wednesday night, so I'm hoping that I'm just enjoying it and just the greatest movie I've ever seen. But before we get to that kind of joy, today we're going to deal with Snake Eyes Deadgame issue number 5. That's right. It came out last week. I've had a week to review and kind of absorb on it. Before we get into it, let's hear from our sponsor, the Movies in a Meal podcast.
Listeners, I know what you need in your life. You need more podcasts. And you also love movies. So why not do a podcast that's about not one movie? It's about not 2 movies. It's about 3 movies and a meal. I'm talking the Movies and a Meal podcast. This show is great. It's brought to you by Keith, Brad, and Ben. And each week they bring a new movie to the table, which they all discuss as a group. And it's not, your highfalutin movies. It's What We Do in the Shadows, The Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Out of Sight. It's Bad Education, Ghost Rider, and A View to a Kill. It's X-Men Last Stand, Queen Sugar, The Mandalorian, and Major League 2. They are a lot of fun to listen to. You guys know Ben. It's our friend Ben Pensarga. He was a guest on Joe and Joe. In fact, Ben was the very first remote guest that I ever had on this podcast, so he's always got a special place in my heart. I'm really digging this. I just started listening to it last week. It is a lot of fun. They bring a guest in. The guest, I listened to their Heathers episode. They were joined by Kelly, and she went in depth on her favorite movie, which was Heathers, and it made me want to go watch Heathers to watch with them. I really dig it. So guys, find them out there at Movies and a Meal, Twitter, Instagram. Their website is moviesandameal.podbean.com. They put out 1 episode a week. Give them a listen, guys. Support them. Let them know Joe on Joe sent you. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It is quite entertaining. And now back to the show.
They really are a delightful podcast, guys. Please give them a listen while you're on your podcast app subscribing to the Movies in a Meal podcast. Why don't you rate the Joe on Joe show? Give me a rating. Whatever app you're listening to, Stitcher, iTunes, what have you. Give me a rating. It really helps. It helps give the show visibility on the internet. Like if you're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I'd love a follow at Joe on Joe Pod. That is, it helps, The more people you follow, the more people you spread the word. We all talk G.I. Joe. Actually, the day I'm recording this, Super 7 just dropped all those fantastic looking Sunbow toys that they're going to be coming out with. The like the $20 reaction style figures look great, and their what's their premier line, I forget what they call it, but the $55 like premium figures, those are just, that is like, take my money. I got robbed the day when that broke. Within 30 seconds someone robbed me of all my money because I bought those ASAP. They just look great. I will say this though, to the Super 7s that are listening, I know you got big plans for the line, for the smaller, the $20 line. I love Quinn as a character. Quinn wasn't on Sunbow, so it seemed weird to me that we had a Sunbow looking Quinn when there's so many actual Sunbow characters like the Games Master, the big guy that Duke fought in the in the first miniseries, the lady that helped Duke in the miniseries. Just there's just so many actual Sunbow characters that I would love to see, because like, to my knowledge, we've never really had a Sunbow specific line. So I hope that they kind of focus on that. I really, yeah. I mean, I'd love, and listen, I'd love to see a comic book line too. That would be fantastic. And that's probably really just the old 3 3/4. They were pretty comic accurate, but and I love Quinn. This is not a complaint. This is just I was surprised to see Quinn included. That's all. It was a surprise. And the green shirts and then the Cobra Troopers, those are all fabulous. Those are really great. Like, the whole line just looks great. And there's such a rich Sunbow history of random minor characters and stuff that I can't wait to see what Storm Shadow looks like. And I want Major Blood. Like, I absolutely need Polly. I also want a gigantic growing Polly. I want a 2-pack. So assuming we're going to do a Tomac Xamot 2-pack, right? Take that tooling, packaging tooling, and then you give me an Alpine and Bazooka 2-pack. Just do it. Just pair them together, because you can't have Alpine without Bazooka. All that stuff. Anyway, that's for a different time. Today we're talking about Snake Eyes Deadgame number 5, guys. And this book, over the last year, as we've been waiting for issue 5 to drop, it has been a year. I believe issue 1 dropped in August. So it has been a roller coaster of emotions, one might say. And not all great emotions, but a roller coaster nonetheless. And for some reason, it got me thinking about what a telephone call would have been like. Waiting for issue number 5 between Rob Liefeld and his editors, with all apologies to Bob Newhart. I thought it might sound something like this. Yeah, yellow. Yeah. Hey, Rob. Yes. I got the pages. They look, Rob. Yes, they look. They do look. Yeah, and yes, it has been a few months. I get it. But you see, I thought, Rob, that you were going to take that time to maybe draw more backgrounds. No. Okay. No, not drawing backgrounds. Okay. And then I thought maybe that you would finish inking. No, you asked all of your friends to ink it. Okay. Which is, I'm not complaining. It's a murderer's row of names in here, Rob. I can't complain about all that. It just seems weird because it's been a while since we got the pages back for issue 4. You're right. The one where, Destro and Baroness showed up for no reason. Right. Yeah, no, they weren't in any of the other issues or referenced, or Cobra was involved in any way, shape. No, that's right. Okay, so I thought, maybe let's flip through this real quick and you can kind of maybe answer a couple questions I have for you. Because, listen, Rob, I'm looking at the pages. I may be seeing stuff a little different. They're not completely colored yet, although, I did. I love the coloring in the other issues too. I thought it was great. Yes, I agree. I do think the coloring covered all the other issues. Kind of saved them. Okay, so the cover I'm looking at, Rob, is the Snake Eyes, kind of crouched. It's cover A. It's going to be cover A. And, generally, it's a good-looking picture of Snake Eyes, Rob. Here's the thing. I'm worried about the dislocation on his right knee. Yeah, that's right, Rob. Yeah. No, that knee's dislocated, Rob. It is. It's turning outwards, and it's completely dislocated. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm sure, yes, G.I. Joe has a good medical plan. So I'm sure he is going to get he's absolutely going to get all the help that he needs to fix that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. So I've got this list of characters, of inkers, on the inside that contributed to this book. And man, it's a murderer's row, Rob. I mean, you pulled in all the stops. You pulled in all the favors. You got great names. You got, Corey Hampshire, Philip Tan, Ed Piskor, Jim Rugg, Chance Wolfe, Will Portasio, Carl Kiesel, he's a legend, Ryan Otley, Paul Scott, Neil Adams. Rob, you got Neil Adams to ink pages of your Snake Eyes book. What did you have on Neil Adams? I mean, how did you... Sorry, scratch that. How did you convince... Nope. We didn't have that in the budget, Rob. You promised him how much? Okay, we're going to have to talk about that later. You got Tom Scioli. Sorry, pardon me. Of course, he's got that great G.I. Joe connection, so that's great. Marat Michaels, he's an Image all-star. The Kevin Eastman, Rob, skipping ahead, that Kevin Eastman page is actually the best page I've seen in all these books. That really, really looks great. I mean, the legend Jerry Ordway, that was a great surprise for me because Jerry's art is so realistic, grounded, and of high quality. I was surprised to see him on this. Yeah, no. Yep. Carl Kerschel, also fantastic. Eric Kinnett, Dan Panosian rounding out. And of course, you did a couple pages. You did the opener and the closer. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't forget Don Fraga and Carl Alstadter and Bjorn. This looks like an H, Rob. It's kind of hard with this typo. Oh, typing. Yeah, Bjorn Hein. All these, and all the inks, they look great. I am happy, Rob, that you there is a general uniformity throughout. All right, so we'll look at the first page. What do you say, Rob? Yeah. Right. Do I like that you're giving voice to Snake Eyes via the voiceover? Define like, Rob. I mean, you can do it. My recollection, I think the only other person that's given genuine voice to Snake Eyes has been Larry Hama. And you thought you should be the next guy to do it. That was your thinking behind this. That one of the most legendary, mysterious, we never hear really what he's thinking characters, that you were the right guy to script to do this. Okay. Well, no, I mean, I know Chad Bowers did the script and the dialogue, and it's written well. It all makes sense. I'm just talking about the bigger picture, the concept of actually giving Snake Eyes voice, Rob, which is really your story here. Do I think it's I don't, Rob. I don't. There's no way you're going to change your mind. Okay. Just too controversial. Too much. He's never really had a voice, Rob. I don't know that the world was waiting for you. Okay, no, forget it. I get it. So, yeah, Rob, so Snake Eyes has an ego about being in over his head. I get that. Yeah, he's still carrying Thor's hammer. That doesn't make a lot of sense either. But, we're into the story. All right, next page, Rob. Snake Eyes is spinning his hammer like Thor. Right. I get what you're going for there, and that's a fun idea. It's a fun idea, Rob. Have you ever looked closely at Thor's hammer, Rob? Thor's hammer is it's got a very small handle and a long tongue on it. So when he spins it, the 1 foot long handle really extends to like two and a half feet around him. That's right. Yeah, you've seen it. Walter Simonson drew it a lot. Basically, everyone who's ever drawn Thor and paid attention to Thor knows this. The handle on your hammer, Rob, it's about 3.5 feet long. You're right. So if Snake Eyes were to spin that, that's right, Rob. It'd be about 7 feet wide. No, this is not 7. Okay. All right. Well, it's just a matter of artistic interpretation, I guess, Rob. Yeah. And yes, Snake Eyes has the ability to spin it fast enough to deflect bullets. Sure. Okay. Next page, Rob. And again, I think a lot of these inks are great. I think a lot of these inks are really, he's still using it as a shield. Okay. Oh, real quick, Rob, before we go back, you're drawing a sword on Snake Eyes' back in this picture. That sword doesn't show up anywhere else for the rest of the book. Is there any way you can go back and erase? No, you don't want to erase that. Okay. Fair enough. We're going to pretend that he threw it in between panels. That's what he did. He threw it. My next question for you. These soldiers, these Cobra soldiers, Because now we have officially said, okay, this is a Cobra operation now, right? So these aren't Kerrigan's soldiers. They don't look anything like any Cobra soldiers like we've really seen before. There's no Cobra insignias on their chest. There's the face mask. It's not red. Like, their helmets don't look right. They do all look possessed. Their guns don't look like guns. They just look like giant squares that, you didn't want to draw the detail on. Yeah. And Rob, I'm looking at one of these Cobra soldiers. This is back on the page where he's spinning the hammer. The one Cobra soldier, he's not even bothering to hold the grip. Right, the trick. Yeah, like the grip, the handle of the no, it's okay, Rob. We're just going to move on there. I agree with your choice to set this in the mountains, because then there's no need for any background details like cities, establishing shots. It's just all backgrounds. But we're still getting into Snake Eyes' head space. Yeah, so now he throws the hammer like Thor throws his hammer. Okay, great. So now we're on the next page, Rob. It's just more fighting. Now the hammer's back, even though well, no, Chad will just cover that up. He'll just say that the hammer came back. We don't you worry about drawing it somehow flying back. Don't worry about that. I'll just have Chad write the words that it disappeared, well, you know what? The readers will never notice. No one will even care, because these Snake Eyes are they're awesome. Right, your words, you just said it. The Snake Eyes are awesome. Yeah, okay. So Snake Eyes throws the hammer again. Yeah, it's well, so that throw, it's a sideways throw. That's an interesting direction to throw a hammer. I don't know, like, that's more like, looks like he's tossing it to oh no, but it does connect. You're right. It does magically. It does connect to Destro's face in the next panel. It does. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Olympia's back, and Olympia's fighting the Baroness, and her dad Kerrigan. He's huge, and he's huge. Snake Eyes is flying in that bottom panel. Okay, great. All right, we're going to the next one. It's a fun inked page. This is a fun fight page. Yeah, I mean, all these. Listen, Rob, I'm not going to complain. All these Snake Eyes poses are great. It's what we've gotten for 5 issues consecutively. I don't know why we would ever expect anything else. But you know what? Here we are. And Snake Eyes has taken down Destro. So, fair enough. So now we get to the next page. We got Baroness fighting Olympia. No, we're not going to do too much of a showdown. Like, why? No, I agree. There's no reason to actually show the fight and show them fighting while they're talking. Like comics have done for 40 years. Yeah, you can just show them staring at each other for 4.5 panels. Yeah, for 4 panels. Just have them stare at each other, and then do a half kick in that last. That's good. I agree. I mean, you're right. There is so much posing going on in the rest of the book, like fight kick posing. Why do more here? Between just why do it? I agree. I totally agree. Oh, here we go. This is a nice 2-page spread. This is actually a strong 2-page spread. Snake Eyes looks great. Taking Destro right in the face. I like that Destro has Bruce Wayne's mom's pearl necklace on. That's interesting. It's normally it's a chain with a big medallion, Rob. Yeah, there's like a weird kind of a red squarish medallion. It would work better if you saw the medallion in that picture, Rob. Yes, it would. I agree. Any chance we can get you to draw that? No, you're going to stick with the pearl necklace. Hey, I agree. BVS. I loved it too. Any references we can get to Martha and her pearls, let's go for it. All right, we're going to go to the next page, Rob. Yeah, Kerrigan is he's back. He had been hit in the last issue. And he's back, and he's awake, and so now the Deadgame's. I had to look up what the Deadgame meant again, Rob. That's right, I did. Well, it had been so long since you sent the last set of pages over. It took me a while. It took me a little bit to get there, to remember what the Deadgame actually was. Yeah, so right. So his sword is the only sword in this whole issue. That sword that was on Snake Eyes' back earlier, was that the Deadgame sword? I don't know, because It wasn't on the first page, and then it disappeared. So maybe that was the Deadgame sword. Is there any... No, we're not going to... Don't worry about it. Just... It's all good. All right. So the next page. All right, so Snake Eyes has the hammer again. His right hand is... No, it's not actually gripping the hammer. You're right, it's not. That is an interesting way to hold something. So his fingers are clenched below the hammer. He's actually holding the hammer entirely between his thumb and his forefinger. Or rather, his index finger. Right. It's not actually being gripped by his hand. It's just index finger. You call that indexing. So you do. You're right. You know what? You're right. I've seen that in the other issues. I didn't know there was a name for that. And no one actually holds something. They just index it. Interesting. Okay, I'm on board. So you're indexing. All right. So now the Dead Sword is bringing every unliving soul rejected by the afterlife. Demon zombies, you call it, as you say, as Chad says. Yeah, this is the first time we've used zombies in this series. No, there's no real explanation. And they do appear to have physical bodies. I don't know why they were all buried on this mountain. I don't know anything. Listen, I don't know anything about this. This is the first I'm hearing of this. But, okay. Fair enough. We'll go to the next page. Neil Adams did this? I love Neil Adams. Yeah, he did sign it. Yes, he did. Yeah, no, never miss a chance. Okay. That's great. Snake Eyes has like a nice kind of a garage door on his face now, but that's fine too. I'm not going to mess with the master. When you ask for Neil Adams, you get Neil Adams. And we're absolutely getting Neil Adams here, and I'm here for it. But there's a bit here that I don't understand. How did the hammer throw Snake Eyes? Uh-huh. It just did? Okay, so... Okay. What, second question. What's Snake... Is Snake Eyes holding on to his web belt there? Okay. Well... Listen, by this look of surprise on Kerrigan's face, I think he's as shocked that the hammer threw Snake Eyes as much as I am. That's for sure. All right, we'll go to the next page. Nope, there's that hammer again. So apparently the hammer threw Snake Eyes, then it caught up to him. Yeah, so I did have a question, and this page makes, these next two pages make it really apparent. What are they standing on? Because, yeah, you're just letting it, you're saving it for the colorist. So the colorist is going to save this. Okay. So this took you all these many months to not draw any ground? Okay, fair enough. Hey, listen. There's a recipe. You don't mess with success, right? Okay. All right, next page. And that was Tom Scioli's page, by the way, which, inking looks fabulous throughout this book. More Snake Eyes as Thor fighting. Now, this is interesting. Snake Eyes' bones are snapping and shattering, but then they're healing. Other parts of me were mending too. I think I know where you're going with this. And there's another thing that might be controversial to the fans. And you made a very good choice. We go to the next page. You made a really good choice to have Kevin Eastman ink this page, because Kevin Eastman is really just delightful. And his style is so overwhelming that it becomes a Kevin Eastman page, so that people enjoy the Kevin Eastman and they don't enjoy Snake Eyes screaming. Right. He's making noise. Yeah. No. Right. So his voice healed. Okay. I get it. It's a fun gag. I get why you'd be tempted to do it. Did you think about his face healing too? No? Okay. I am glad, though. I am glad that you didn't really have him say too much. That makes sense. Yeah, and then we're just going to have Chad explain how it's not going to stick. So his face is still going to be messed up. But conceivably, his face is correct right now. Just throwing that out there. And this is a Jerry Ordway page. I'm all aboard Jerry Ordway artwork. That's pretty great. And it's a good opportunity for Kerrigan to explain the whole story. I don't really understand how... Anyway, they're locked in Mortal Kombat. I get it. And, sure. So, the hammer, Thor's, yeah, sure. So, okay, so Thor's hammer smash, I get it. We're going to have to get to that point anyway. I get it. The thing that, Rob, yeah, the thing that is confusing me is so that the hammer isn't enough to take him down, but the broken wooden handle is enough to kind of give him the what for. Yeah, well, I guess it is sometimes it's the thing you least expect, right? Right? I get it. Like the last thing I was expecting was for this book to be finished before the Snake Eyes movie opened. You're right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, so now that the hammer's broken, so I got Chad's dialogue here saying it was cold. His Snake Eyes' wounds were reopening. His voice is gone, so he's only got a broken hammer, but that really means it's a non-magical hammer. So, with the confirmed the magic is gone, Snake Eyes beats Kerrigan with a broken stick. Okay, I like the symbolism. I get it. Fair enough. If that's what we're going for, like sometimes, and I gotta say, I love the a broken isn't the same as worthless. I learned that a long time ago. I love that symbolism. So, all right, I don't believe it, but fair enough. Fair enough. Here we go. And then Snake Eyes has the Deadgame sword. That's a nice panel on the bottom. Gotta give you credit for that one, Rob. A very nice panel on the bottom. And okay, yeah. So I don't know where Snake Eyes was hiding this gun. I'm going to flip back here through the last few pages. We had a lot of Snake Eyes shots, a lot of drawings of Snake Eyes. At no point in any of these previous pages do I see a gun or a holster or anything. But here he is, and he's got his gun, he's got his pistol. Okay, he's ready to go. Now, again, artwork, I like. It's a good-looking Snake Eyes. And Kerrigan's been given a stick turectomy, and he basically says, doesn't matter, Snake Eyes, I'm immortal, I'll come back, we'll do the Deadgame some other time. I like that. And we just get more glory shots of Snake Eyes, this time inked by multiple different people. Snake Eyes using the Deadgame sword. So, well, all right, so he pulled the gun out, Rob, but then he doesn't use the gun? That's what you're telling me? So we drew the gun. He even cocked it. And then it's gone. He doesn't fire. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't threaten. And then the sword moves from his left hand to a stabbing motion on his right hand. Rob, you drew these pages. You can't tell me what's going on? Okay. All right, but just so we're clear, you put these pages in sequential order, right? We know that. Like, you inked by different people, sure, but you said this is page, 18, and that's page 19. You said that. Okay, just so we're clear. And yeah, and Snake Eyes gives Kerrigan the what for with the dead sword. And Kerrigan gives him no choice. Snake Eyes cuts his head off. That's classic. That's kind of, we all knew that was coming, but that's great. That's fun. I like that. Okay. So, Rob, in this last panel, I like the Snake Eyes stoically, and then over, like a little time shift in the same panel where you see him waiting for something to come. Here's my question for you, Rob. What are those things in the air? Because, yeah, the script called for airplanes, and Joes have a multitude. Joes have Tomahawks, they have Dragonflies, they have Conquest X-30s, they have Sky Strikers, they have C-130s, the big transport planes. These are, I don't know what these are. These don't look like any airplane I've ever seen, and because they're being drawn in silhouette, no one should really infer that they're airplanes because they don't look like anything. If you're going to redesign what an airplane looks like, maybe do it as part of the story or show it earlier, or I have no idea. But if you're only doing a passing reference to some type of transport showing up to rescue the guy, I would think, now this is just, call me crazy, color me insane, I would think those items should be quickly recognizable to any viewer, but that's just me. Okay? So we're going to, before we go to the next couple pages, which is kind of the epilogue, and that's fun, right, you get where I'm going here. Olympia. There's no resolution there? Okay. We don't know what happened with the Baroness. Well, the Baroness talked about fleeing, but Destro, Baroness, nothing like that. Olympia, nothing like that. She last appeared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 or 12 pages ago, depending on how you're counting that last one. Yeah, and they all just disappear, right? So, okay. Yeah, I know. Chad saved you a little bit with the Baroness saying that she's going to walk back to Transcarpathia, but Olympia was a major character in this. Yeah, Rob, earlier you established that she helped train Snake Eyes at some point. And here you mentioned that he kept it to himself, and so it's his secret. Yeah. So, well, here's the thing. Internally, I'm going to put a little note that Olympia never gets brought up again. Okay. I hope you're okay with that. In fact, a lot of this adventure, we're just going to hopefully never reference it again. So we're back at the G.I. Joe base, and we're getting a good resolution with Scarlet, and that's great. And they both have the dog collars on, and that's a choice. I will say this, for the next 2 pages, Snake Eyes has the proper swords and proper number of swords drawn in each panel that he's drawn in. So good for you. Kudos. And I do like the idea that just it's a never-ending battle, and Snake Eyes is ready for the next fight. We end up on this last page. Another hero pose of Snake Eyes getting ready. Can I ask what's wrong with his shoulder? His right shoulder. That's right. The right shoulder. Is it dislocated? Oh, you redrew the arm. You just, in Photoshop, you just changed that arm entirely. Is there any way you could make it look normal again? Because it looks really weird right now, Rob. Like, unnaturally weird. Like, no, you're not gonna, you're not interested in, okay. Well, you know what? We're done. So that's the final page of the book. Yeah, so it was an adventure. The trade will be out in a little bit, and it'll sell, and a sequel. You know what? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. You'd like to. Okay, well, you have more pinups to use as story pages. Just pinups, and then you want someone else to do all the storytelling with dialogue for another 5 pages. You want to do that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to transfer you to the Transformers office. Yes, I think this would work really well over there. And I appreciate you, though. Thank you. I'm going to make sure this goes through with vouchers, and we're going to get you paid. And so listen. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, thanks. And that's, with all apologies, to Bob Newhart, how I think issue 5 went down. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys got a kick out of that. I hope it was tolerable to listen to from my end. I couldn't do a standard episode of Joe on Joe Illustrated going page by page from this. I don't know what we expected from this stuff. It's just, I just hope this doesn't get referenced in continuity all that much. And listen, here's the deal. It's not the end of the world. Who cares? It's just another comic, and it's just another interpretation of something that we all love. And I'm sure Rob loves it too. And I'm sure Rob loves Snake Eyes and all that stuff. It just seems like such a missed opportunity. It's just, there's so many basic blocking and tag. This is legit for this entire miniseries. There's just so much basic storytelling stuff that I know everyone here involved knows how to do, that they absolutely just, it's like they didn't care to do it. And then this issue is so late, and then you see that there's a million inkers. I got to imagine that the whole million inker concept, and kudos, they got huge names, and the pages look really great, and it actually looked better. There's a lot of characters that I think were saved by the inks, poses and stuff. But you got to imagine that was an idea born of, he's never going to finish these pages. We need to get this book out before the movie drops. Let's just reach out to all these huge names and get pages done. The lack of backgrounds and setting, basic storytelling, blocking and tackling, like tracking where characters, like, you know, Baroness Destro and that Olympia character. Baroness Destro, fine. Like any good Cobra, they run off into the nowhere and, you know, live in the whatever. But Olympia was literally a major character from the first issue. Zero resolution. Scarlet was in most of the issues, and, you know, she just got abandoned at the end, and that's fine. You want Snake Eyes on a solo mission, that's fine. But you remember Storm Shadow disappeared. The rest, like the old school Joes that were showing, like every issue was just throwing an idea and seeing what hits, and then dropping it. And I don't know, that's just not satisfying to this reader. I know everyone involved here can tell a better story than this. That's what I'm saying. So, color me grousey, color me whatever. I guess I've been listening to a little Bob Newhart, and I thought this would be a fun gag to do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If it was interminable and you turned it off halfway through, then my apologies. But at least I didn't make you sit through this for the contest. So, with that, now you Joe. And Joeing is half the battle.